KBAD 94.5 Pure Badlands Rock. It's officially Friday afternoon. You know what that means. I feel a lot more like I do now than I did before. Welcome to KBAD 94.5 Pure Badlands Rock. I have a good friend in studio with me right now. The host of the Classic Metal Show, Wendell Neeley, has come all the way from Cleveland, Ohio, to share this Dokken experience with us, and I want to get his take on what's going on and welcome you to Sioux Falls. Wendell, how you doing?
Well, Ron, I appreciate you having me here at this awesome studio as well as this fantastic complex. And coming up here for this Dokken Reunion Show is something I wouldn't miss in the world. And everybody has been so great here, including yourself, and allowing me to come into this state-of-the-art studio. I'm absolutely impressed.
Oh, we're glad to have you here. And folks from 38 states bought tickets for this show. We have people from all over the world and some good friends in town for this, including yourself. For our listeners who might not be familiar with the Classic Metal Show, this is probably the longest-running internet metal radio show in history.
Sure, it's 20 years.
Tell us all about what you do, about the show. I know because it was the first internet radio show that I've ever been on. This cat, Wendell Neeley, has supported my career from being a rock musician, singer, artist, performer, and also in my radio career. Been a huge mentor and help to me throughout my radio career. So tell us a little bit more about Wendell Neeley and the Classic Metal Show.
Well, Ron, as you know, I lived in L.A. in the 80s, and when the 90s hit, that LA metal scene kind of died out. And while I was out on the road as a truck driver through the early part of the 90s, I would listen to a lot of radio, and I was thinking, man, there's something missing here. The good music is not being played. And I thought, I'm going to get off the road. I'm going to start a radio show, and it's going to concentrate on, and the term classic metal was not even a term, at that time. This was in the early 90s. And I got off the road. I went to broadcasting school. I got a little gig at a small FM radio station in Akron, Ohio. And I approached the station manager. I said, hey, I'd like to do the show, a specialty show where I feature all what I call classic metal. That would be Keel, Dokken, LA Guns, Guns N' Roses, Testament, Anthrax, Metallica, Iron Maiden. The list goes on and on, kind of like what you're doing here. And, it took off from there, and it was the highest rated show on that station on a Saturday. And that was 20 years ago this year. I started it in January of 1996. So we're celebrating our 20th anniversary. And along the way, the show has kind of morphed away from just a music-based show to kind of talk and music. And it's a little edgy. So if the kids are in the car,
a little edgy, my ass. I've been on this show. I've listened to the show. I'm a fan as well. These guys get down and dirty, hardcore, not just with the music, but with the discussions as well. And your co-host, Chris Aiken, I know he's listening. Chris Aiken also runs the Dokken website, and a good friend of mine and a big supporter of me. He actually filled in for me for my syndicated show when I was on the road and out on tour. So, Chris, you're here in spirit with us, Wendell and I in the studio. I'm here with Wendell Neeley, host of the Classic Metal Show, and we've got some Dokken music. I'll come back right after this one with more from Wendell Neeley and Ron Keel, the Metal Cowboy, rocking your workday. Let's do this. KBAD 94.5 Pure Badlands Rock, rocking with Dokken. I am Ron Keel, the Metal Cowboy, and I am rocking with a good friend of mine, Wendell Neeley from Cleveland, Ohio, the host of the Classic Metal Show, in studio with me. Wendell, welcome back, and give me your impressions, first of all, of Badlands, Sioux Falls, what we've built here in the Badlands Empire, KBAD Radio, and the Badlands Pawn Gold and Jewelry.
Well, Ron, I've had an opportunity to check the place out pretty thoroughly, and what amazes me about this place is the branding. Everything is top notch, right down to the minute details. Even the cue balls and the balls on the billiard table in the I guess it would be the green room for the bands and the dressing rooms. I mean, each member of a band can have their own dressing room, and it's outfitted to the top notch, and the accommodations are fantastic. I mean, all the drinks, food, snacks, whatever. It's just every room, every single room.
And as a concert venue, you were one of the chosen few. You and I were lucky enough to be a part of that Dokken VIP experience last night where the guys actually did a dress rehearsal and performed together on stage some of their classic hits. Talk to me about the concert venue and your impressions of how it looked, how it sounded, and what we can expect tonight.
Well, I got to tell you, I was a little, I told Joe off air here that I was a little sketchy, a little hesitant, because I watched the rehearsals and these guys, obviously they haven't played together in 20 years. And at the last minute when they did the actual dress rehearsal, they came on full steam. It sounded fantastic. George played Mr. Scary. That just blew me away. Fantastic. And Don, I tell you what, Don was a little rough, because he'd been kind of straining his voice this week on rehearsals. And, I was like, Don might have a little gravelly night. Hit those notes like the days of old. They pulled it together, and it was absolutely amazing.
I'm glad you were here for it. I'm glad I was here for it. And for all the fans that came from all over the country and all over the world to be a part of this Dokken experience, fantastic moment in rock and roll history where Dokken, one of the greatest bands of our era and our generation, is back together with the classic lineup: George Lynch, Mick Brown, Jeff Pilson, Don Dokken, all together on stage again. And they're going to do it for real tonight, all night long, the full show. And there's some surprises, there's some twists and turns, and all those classic Dokken hits that we love. I'm here with Wendell Neeley, the host and creator of the Classic Metal Show. Now, Wendell, I want to make sure you tell all our listeners how they can find you and your show online.
All right. Well, we're live every Saturday night from 9 p.m. Eastern until 3 a.m. It's a live show. We take live phone calls. My partner, Chris Aiken, who's been with me for 10 years, he and I, we do mix it up pretty much with the fans, as well as Ron mentioned, the topics. It's not for the faint of heart, and it's certainly not kid friendly. So if you're one of those who believe in microaggressions and need safe spaces, this is not the show for you. So I don't want you listening if that's your belief. So it's a little rough around the edges, but I think we bring some pertinent points to the forefront, things people won't talk about or are afraid to talk about. And of course we layer in all the hard rock and heavy metal that people enjoy as well.
And the thing I love about your show is that you guys are true fans of the music and the genre, and you really want to entertain people and mix in a great variety of classic metal. And you've played everything I've ever done, including
right.
the Badlands House Band.
Sure.
I think you guys were the first show to air the Ghost Riders in the Sky single, which is kind of a country-ish, southern rockish kind of thing. It's not classic metal, but you guys have supported everything that I've done. So I'm really proud to have you on the air with me today, and I'm really proud that you kept it clean, man. I was very surprised, a little nervous, thinking, Wendell's coming on my show. I need to find the dump button. But
I'm not the one with the bad mouth. Chris is the one with the bad mouth.
You have behaved yourself quite well, my friend. And that's the Classic Metal Show. Wendell Neeley. One more time, the website, please.
theclassicmetalshow.com.
It doesn't get any simpler than that. Theclassicmetalshow.com. Wendell Neeley, welcome to Sioux Falls, South Dakota. Thanks for your support throughout my radio career and for coming on the show today.
Well, Ron, I appreciate you having me. I'm looking for a great Rockin' with Dokken night here at Badlands Pond, the greatest venue I've ever attended.
Let's do it. Thank you, Wendell. And let's get on with the pure Badlands Rock.